All right, today we are talking about legal immigration and how it correlates with crime, because something you often hear whenever you have a discussion or a debate or talk about illegal immigration is, well, they're mostly just good people that just want to come here for a good life, and they're mostly, these families that just want to come here, right? It's meant to paint you as a bad person for thinking that these families should just be left in poverty. That's always the debate is, well, you don't think they have the right to come here for a better life, right? That is always the argument at hand here. That is what happens virtually every single time. So this is where I'm just going to go over a few things to kind of prove that, that might not be the most valid point that you can argue. So, some things to just get out of the way. Some things to know about illegal immigration and crime. Right? I'm going to cite all my sources and everything here. First of all, an important thing to know is that the federal government actually does not have a ton of data available to the public regarding links between crime and illegal immigration. The ICE, which, is in charge of all, illegal immigration conflicts and things like that, said that, quote, comprehensive statistics on illegal immigrants' crimes are not available from the federal government, end quote, right? So they acknowledge that, yeah, they're kind of hidden from public record. They're not really out there. A former Department of Justice attorney also claimed that some states do actually track illegal immigration and crime, but they withhold that data out of fear of backlash from the federal government or just for political purposes. Is what he said. So, but there is still some data out there that can be used to examine the correlation between crime and illegal immigration. So that was the first thing I think we should get out of the way. So the second fact about illegal immigration, right? I'm just going to lay out all these facts and statistics first, and then I'll give you my opinion on it. So the data says very clearly that illegal immigrants are more likely to commit crimes than the rest of the population, right? The available local, state, and federal statistics say that illegal immigrants are 3 times as likely to be convicted of murder as members of the general population, despite only being 3.5% of the U.S. population, right? So they commit around 13.6% of crimes, again, despite being only 3.5% of the population. So they do commit way more crime than the average U.S. citizen, right? That's something that's important to know. Next point. Almost 50% of federal crimes were committed near the Mexico-U.S. border, right? This is according to the Department of Justice. So there's a lot of crime going on around the U.S.-Mexican border. Nearly 50% is what the Department of Justice is saying. I actually looked into it. It's more like 45%, but I think they rounded to 50 when they were giving like the conclusion and stuff on this study. But anyway, it's very high is my point, is that it's very high near the border, and that's not a coincidence, right? Next point, illegal immigrants, and this is insane, accounted for nearly 75% of federal drug sentences in 2014. This is according to the United States Sentencing Commission. So let's not pretend like they're just great people trying to come here. 75% of illegal immigrants, that's illegal immigrants accounted for 75% of federal drug sentences in the whole country. That's a pretty big deal. The next point I have, another fact, is tens of thousands of illegal immigrants with criminal backgrounds have been released by the ICE and are still in America today. Right? In 2015, the ICE released about 20,000 illegal immigrants that committed about 64,000 crimes. In these were over 12,000 drunken driving conditions, almost 1,700 cases of assault, 216 kidnappings, and over 200 homicide convictions. And these people are just we don't know where they are. Right, they're probably in the U.S. today. Right, they were released by ICE, so that is very scary to think of. All right, now this is another fact. The ICE actually themselves reported this, that in Trump's first 100 days of office, roughly 75% of the 40,000 illegal immigrants arrested during Trump's first 100 days were convicted criminals. 75% of illegal immigrants, and those are just the ones that are caught, were convicted criminals. So the next time someone tries to tell you, oh, well, that's just a small percentage of them that actually do bad things. Most of them are just trying to come here with their families like good people. 75% of them are convicted criminals before they then break the law and then try to come into the country illegally, which technically by definition makes you a criminal. However, this is saying convicted criminals, like we talked about earlier, drunk driving, assault, kidnappings, murders. It's just awful. A lot of drug, as I talked about earlier. 75% of illegal immigrants arrested so far in Trump's first 100 days were criminals. That's insane. That completely debunks the myth that these are just all good people trying to come in here, right? So, here another fact is under Trump, illegal immigrants caught crossing the border has dropped 93% since December before he took office. This is according to the Department of Homeland Security. 93%. That is phenomenal. That is a huge number. The DHS, Department of Homeland Security, is actually crediting President Trump's harsher illegal immigration policies as the primary reason of the significant slowdown in illegal immigrants crossing the border. So people are so quick to call Trump and conservatives in general racist just because they want to have a strong border and they want people to come here legally. I don't understand how liberals and people on the left can differentiate 76 different genders that they make up, but they can't understand the difference between illegal immigrants and legal immigrants. It's insane. Trump says illegal immigrants are bringing rape, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing violence, which I clearly just showed that they are. Not every single one of them, not every single illegal immigrant is a criminal. But most of them are, according to all these things I just listed off. According to the people that arrest them, most of them are, right? And that catch them. That's not me being racist. If you think that statistic is racist, that's not my problem. That's just you thinking that statistic is racist. So people are so quick to call Trump racist for that. When what's wrong with wanting to put America first? People seem to confuse that with, oh, Trump wants to put white people first. No, that's not what that means. America isn't white. America is so many different cultures. Wanting to put those people first is what's important. Right? When 75% of these people are convicted criminals, that's a problem. I don't want convicted criminals sneaking into my country. There's videos of people literally walking through people's backyards. Just, because there's no border. They just cross a river in like a floaty. And there's a video of people handing bags of who knows what into a big van that drives off. Probably, like we said, the drugs. Illegal immigrants were 75% of federal drug sentences. It's just such a big problem. And the fact that people don't acknowledge this and they just want to live in fairy tale land where, oh, we just let everybody in because that's totally how a border works. Most people aren't aware. I'm not sure if you watching this video are. Mexico has a wall on their southern border. No one ever calls Mexico racist. Their wall works quite well for controlling illegal immigration. Clearly, Trump's stance on it controls illegal immigration very well, as 93% has been the decline. That is progress right there. That is Trump putting America first, and that is what we need to continue. So most of the stuff throughout the majority of the video, I just laid out facts, right? If you disagree with that, then that's not my fault. That's just a little bit of ignorance on your part because that's just information. right? I provided sources for all of them. So if you still are convinced that all these, and again, I know there's going to be those people that say, oh, you hate all immigrants. No. Like I said, I don't hate, first of all, I don't hate any immigrants, illegal or non-illegal. I don't hate them, right? But what I am saying is that a vast majority of illegal immigrants are causing crime. Lots of it. And that is a problem. And as much crime as we can decrease, if we can decrease it, then good, decrease it. Come here legally. And that's basically the premise of this whole video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like. If you disagreed with me and you thought I was wrong about something, leave a comment down below, and I would be happy to have a friendly discussion about it. Thank you so much.